Have you given out increases to your team this year? And more importantly, did you add that into your hourly rate? That is going to be the topic of this week's Planning for Profit Minute. Now, again, we have to give increases to our team. That's important. But as we do so, we also have to be getting that money from somewhere. The only place you have to get revenue is from your customers and what you're billing them. And so at that point, you need to be building it into your cost of operation and increasing your hourly rate. As we look at this, let's take a peek at our software and see how that can impact us. I'm going to start out by taking a look at our net profit analysis report here, looking at the company as a whole. And I can see very quickly here that last year, I'm projecting, and actually next year, projecting that we're going to do $1.6 million. That will result in $120,000 in net profit, which is a 7.38% net profit before taxes. I'd like it to be a little higher, but I can live with that. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and give out increases, I've got to factor that into my cost of operation. If I don't, where's it going to come from? Pretty easy answer. It's going to come out of this $120,000 right here. And that starts cutting into the net profit for the company. Again, there's only one place that you have to get revenue, and that is in your hourly rate. So let's see how we make that happen. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a copy of my company. I don't want to mess with the original. Right? Because you're kind of doing a what-if scenario here. What's going to happen if I give these increases to my team? So to do that, I'm simply going to go into Setup, and I'm going to go into Company Models. And in there, again, you're going to see the green dot on the model. That is the active model. Right? And I want to, not the three dots next to the year, I'm going to do the three dots next to the business name. This is my standard business model. And so I want to copy this model. It's going to ask me, what do I want to name this new copy? Right now it's a standard business model. Well, I'm going to call this one Potential Pay Increases. All right, so it's going to create an exact duplicate copy, a model that I can play with as I'm trying to figure out what I can give for pay increases, and if I do so, how much does my hourly rate need to increase? So as I approve that, it's now going to create a complete new model. Everything that we've got in this existing one, it's going to duplicate, put into another model that I can play with that won't affect my original. Now, in my particular case, I've got several years worth of data here, and so it's actually duplicating all of those. Right, so now I can see as I scroll down here just a little bit, I've got an exact duplicate of everything in a new model called Potential Pay Increases. I'm going to select 2023 in that model. That makes that now my active model that I'm going to be working with. Right, and as I look at it, I can see up on the top line, I'm now in the Potential Pay Increases model. All right, so I'm going to choose that as my original, or my working copy. And now I'm simply going to go into cost input. Now, all I have to do is go into labor, and I can go into each individual employee. So I'm going to edit this first one. I'll go into there, and as I do that, I can simply come in and make whatever pay changes I think I need to make here. So in this case, I'm going to take my dispatcher, and I'm saying I'm going to increase $2 an hour. I can accept that. At that point, the individual pay rate here is corrected. Now remember, that's just in this model. It doesn't impact any of the other ones that we've done. I can do that for each of my employees, and now once I'm done there, I can now go back, simply go into my reports, look at my net profit analysis, and when I do that, it's going to show me how much has that increased pay affected the profitability in this department, so I can look at it by department, simply by scrolling down on the bottom here. Right, so I can see at $150 an hour, now that's going to net out in this department at 4.36%. And remember, what we were looking at a minute ago was the company as a whole. So that basically took my company as a whole from a net profit of 7.3% down to 7.1%. Is that a profit that I can live with, or do I need to increase that hourly rate? This is the place to play with that and find out, can I make this happen? If I give these increases, how much do I have to add? And as I do that, maintain your profitability. Make sure that you're building the cost of increases into your pricing well before you hand them out to the team, not afterwards. That only costs you money. And this is this week's Planning for Profit Minute.